guess you can say Hana is a lot like Gohan from Dragon Ball, in a way. He is the son of the first main character, and he gets his main power from the mom. Exactly, from the mom. I remember years ago, my uncle was a big Dragon Ball collector, and for my birthday, he gave me part of his collection. And within that collection, it had a book that gave us things you did not know about the series. And one of the things that always shocked me was Gohan's true power is not from Goku, but actually from Chi-Chi, because of Chi-Chi's bloodline heritage, whereas through magic and her father and so, something that's not really talked about anymore in the main series. But yes, that's what's really happening. It's the reason why Gohan's power is more mystic, more magical in a way. So hopefully in the future of Dragon Ball, Gohan, when he trains, he learns to do more magic than he does to train the regular way of a Saiyan. Be a lot more interesting. Mystic Super Saiyan? Whatever. Anyways, I only comparing this because after seeing what happened in this episode with Hana, you were watching the new reboot of Shaman King, or you read the books, Anna had this very dark power where she can summon Onis and stuff. She was also able to read minds. The point it made her very antisocial and distant from other people until things for connecting with Yo and others, the powers slowly started to die out to the point where she has total control over herself most of the time anyways. This power seems to be passed down to her son this time, and it makes a lot of sense. Yo was talented, but he didn't have anything truly special about him besides him being very talented. Kind of a late stage genius, but not compared to Hao in a way. He was only very good because he was part of Hao, and Hao needed him to be full. Now you have this turn of events where everyone thought it was going to be like, he'd be just like his dad, but nope. In some ways he is, but he's mostly like the mom in a way, which I did like. However, a lot of the other shows that do this with their children don't do it that way. It's always based off the dad's characteristics. Most of the time, because dad is the main character. But this one made things a little bit more interesting. Well, anyways, a lot of interesting revelations happened in this episode, despite being in one setting and not really taking a course of that long. We really think about it. They pretty much stayed on that escalator. Anyway, that same spot. I mean, traveling around the mall. No, that same spot. Everything's going down. We really think about it. In their discussion, flashbacks, and all this other stuff that's just happening here. Like, okay, in this short amount of time, we got this big old info dump here. First of all, let's start with this new main antagonist. What if I told you that this main antagonist already had a spinoff when he was a child years ago? Yes, this main antagonist was already thought of years ago. He's just now making a new appearance into the mainline story of Shaman King. So there's something about there. I can't remember the name of it. I just remember a long time ago he was a kid. He had a childhood friend of him, and that spirit guardian that was with him had a more cartoony look towards him compared to now, which is looking all serious. So I wonder what happened between that time span for it to become like this. I'm curious. And then after learning how Hannah got the only power, mainly is because what happened some time ago. So you may be wondering, why is Yo and Anna doing a very war-torn area? It is what happened at the end of the previous main story. They promised that they'll do what they can to change the world through their own hands. So that became a collection of spin-offs, showing how the other characters are doing their best to make the world a better place. Try to convince how that humanity isn't just lost just yet. And one of the things I guess Yo was doing was aiding people in these war-torn areas. But they weren't strong enough to stop a helicopter. It makes me wonder how powerful these guys are. It's very big contradictory that they got stopped by a helicopter with a machine gun, well, a minigun attached to it. It makes no sense. In the previous, civilization, they were taking out these things like a sliced cheese, and now they can't do it at all, unless the explanation is Yo was doing it way too often to the point he became exhausted. That could also be the reason. But he got to one of the five elemental spirits. How is this possible? Whatever. Maybe I'm thinking way too much into it. But anyways, apparently they got blown to bits, and that's where he met his uncle, and his uncle gave him the power of Oni. So every time he's near the verge of death, the Onis will activate as a backup system to protect him, just in case he's about to see the next afterlife and stuff. Very handy, but yet very dangerous because it seems to attack anybody and everybody, as you can tell. Now with Johanne and his sister, it seems like her spirit guardian has something very malevolent inside of it, something that caused it to manipulate her to becoming more aggressive and devious. And where it was making her do all these interesting techniques that, because she acted completely ignorant at first when she first used it. But I guess as the time went on, as she started using it more, it started was able to leech onto her will and control her in a way. And as you can see, when the thing broke, yeah, she's free, faded, but still free. So yeah, like I said, all this happened, in one setting, in a part of the mall. This entire episode. That's interesting. This is the first time something like this happened, but something I'm just now realizing, like, wow. When you really think about it, not much really happened, but yet they made a lot happen in that short time span. Interesting. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, that's when the Patchy Girl shows up and saves the day. It seems like she was trained for these situations. Like her entire role is to keep an eye on Hana when stuff like this happens. This isn't the first time he went berserk. He went berserk another time before, and she was there to stop it. So I'm guessing for her to be a more approved version for Hana specifically, she had to go undergo this training in order to really know what to do. So I guess that makes sense. We'll probably get more clarification down the road. We'll have to wait and see. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has the background all anime. Signing out.